Hi there. Today I want to make a video about my Trousse 28 by Louis Vuitton, and this is going to be part one of this video because I will be sending this item in for repair to replace the zipper. But before I get into this, I want to talk quick about my Pochette Sports, and I'll explain why. I mentioned on my past videos that I had this Pochette Sports. I had it cleaned a couple days ago. The canvas is in perfect condition, but this is a pre-day coat pouch. And if you see here, it's hard to see, it says Louis Vuitton, made in France. They used to hot stamp their items, but this was before day coat. Still in very good condition. And inside I even had the little leather tab from the zipper, but the main zipper, it's broken. It needs to get replaced. I did contact Louis Vuitton and I asked them how much would it cost to replace the zipper. They told me $180 to replace the main zipper. If I wanted to do the little one, that's another $120. I decided it was not going to be a good idea for me to do that because even if I replace the main zipper, if you notice, this is one of those vintage zipper, the eclair zippers, so I didn't want to have a brand new zipper on the top, pay $180, and then have the vintage zipper on the outside pocket. It wouldn't look right. Another thing I asked them if they're able to do was to replace the leather, and I was told that they wouldn't be able to replace the leather, and it's because when this bag was made, or this pouch was made, at the time Louis Vuitton was using pig skin as their leather instead of cowhide, only for some items, not all of the items, and this was one of those items. So with the years, the leather has wrinkled and starting to crack a little bit, so they're not able to replace the leather, but the zipper, they say they would. I don't want to invest $300 and something in replacing the zippers right now. I keep thinking I'm gonna give it away. I'm gonna gift it to my sister. Maybe she wants to pay for that kind of repair. But it's still a very beautiful pouch. The canvas is still very beautiful, shiny. It's not fading out. And this is like early 80s. So not bad for early 80s canvas. It proves what a great quality this pouch is. So I'm gonna keep it for now. Not sure what I'm gonna do. So for this item, that's why I mentioned before I wouldn't pay $180 because it wouldn't look right with two different kinds of zippers. But I always wanted a Trousse, and the Trousse are the original cosmetic or toiletry pouches, and they came in the size 28 centimeters, which is the one, which is the biggest size. It came on the size 23 centimeters and 18 centimeters. They're the equivalent of the toiletry 26, 19, and 15. They're no longer in production, so they're vintage pieces. And if you find them, they will have that eclair zipper. This one does not have the eclair zipper. And the reason why those zippers were the zipper at the time is because Louis Vuitton did not manufacture their own zipper. They use another company to manufacture their zippers, and those three companies were the Eclair, spell it like that. There was a Tacoon or Taloon company, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, and the CNC company. So those are other zippers that you would see on some vintage Speedies or pouches. But this one was more recent version, still does not have a date code on it. But I knew I wanted to replace the zipper. I thought about buying it through Fashion File, and the ones they have through Fashion File, they're selling for $400 and high $300, close to $400, but they have that vintage zipper. So I thought, well, if I buy it through Fashion File and pay, let's say, $400 with tax, in 5 years from now, the zipper that's been on that pouch for like almost 20 years, 30 years, breaks, I have to pay $180 to get it replaced. So then I didn't just pay $400, I'm gonna end up paying $580. Why not just find a very cheap Trousse in the other pre-loved market, maybe that someone doesn't really want, and just take it straight to Louis and have them just put a brand new zipper that I know is going to last me another at least 15 years if I take well care of it. And I will have the actual paperwork that the repair was done by Louis. So that's a good information to have as a form of authentication, because Louis Vuitton does not authenticate their bags. But if they do a repair in the bag and give you the paperwork for it, that's as good as authentication, because they know fake from real. They know their craft. They will never do a repair on a fake item or counterfeit or anything like that. Only real bags. So why not just do it right to begin with? I wasn't really looking. I happened to be looking for something else, and this item popped in. The seller had a really great reviews. He has sold other Louis Vuitton items, and he was asking, I think, $140 for this. And we kept going back and forth, and I wanted to buy for like $100. And he said, well, let's see what we can come up with. And after tax and shipping and everything, I ended up paying $110. So that's $110 and some kind of change. Plus, I'm about to spend $180 to get the zipper brand new. Beautiful zipper. And I will have the paperwork that shows that this is an authentic bag. And if future repairs or anything, I shouldn't have any problem taking this item back to Louis, because they already done a repair. It's on the record. They know it's a real piece. And the best part, when you get a repair done by mail, I can't always guarantee when you do a repair by taking it to the store that they will give you a dust bag. Even though when you do the paperwork for the repair, it says, please do not include a dust bag. We will provide you with one. You will get, this is from another repair I did, this beautiful dust bag to protect your item. And if you look on the pre-loved market, dust bags from Louis Vuitton sell really high. They're hard to find, and when you do, people do ask a lot of money for them, because everyone knows if you keep your item in a dust bag, it will be protected even more. And who doesn't want their Louis Vuitton back inside a Louis Vuitton dust bag? No one wants it inside a fashion file dust bag. Anything wrong with that, but it's just the way I prefer it. I want the original dust bag from the brand. What I like about this Trousse, it has this beautiful slide pocket in here. It has that wipeable lining, and the lining in here, it looks in good condition. There's no peeling. It's not really dirty. It does have, I mean, it's not 100% that cream color, because you have to think this is almost 30 years old. It has this bands here that can hold up to 3 items. And I do want to use it as a big catch-all organizer inside my toes or when I travel. I got lucky. There's no problems with the canvas, no cracking. It's just the zipper. I'll probably clean it again. When I clean it, I do use those water wipes. And you can find those. You can find them on Amazon. But I was able to Google, and this is what they look like. A lot of people clean their Louis use this. You can find it at Target. It was $3.99, I believe, on the baby aisle. And this is 99.9% water. So they do say it will take between 8 and 10 weeks. No repairs guarantee until they start working on the item. They can start fixing the zipper and notice that if they continue, it can compromise the canvas, so they might cancel my repair. But as of right now, when I emailed them with the pictures to the U.S. care service at LouisVuitton.com, they told me that they will be glad to do the repair and replace the zipper for $180. And now I replied to them that yes, I do want to go ahead and start the process for the repair. So I'm waiting on the shipping label and the little contract. And like I said, in small letters, it will say, do not send a dust bag. We will provide you with a dust bag. So never send a dust bag with your repair. Put it inside a cheaper dust bag, but don't send your Louis Vuitton dust bag. Um, why do I prefer to do this online instead of in person? The closest Louis Vuitton from my house, it's almost 3 hours, and it's one of the biggest ones in the country because it happens to be at one of the biggest malls in the country. And with COVID-19, I feel better just shipping it in than waiting in line where there's no social distancing and there's people from all parts of the world waiting to go inside, and you have to wait sometimes up to 2 hours. I don't want to wait 2 hours, go inside, and then have to deal with maybe a sales associate who's been overworked and it's not in a good mood, and I just don't want to deal with that. If I can just send it through UPS, and then on my Louis Vuitton profile, check the repair process and have them send them back to me through UPS, and I don't have to worry about feeling like I'm being judged for walking in there and with this vintage piece, and you know, they're there to sell bags. As much as they like to do repairs, sometimes they do tend to judge when you go in person. It's just a lot easier now that I do everything online. I've noticed repair, it's so much easier once you do it online. It does take a week because for me to send this bag and for them to receive it, because I live in Pennsylvania, the factory where they do all the repairs is in California, and it takes a week for them to receive the item, and sometimes it takes a day or two for them to show on your profile that they have received the item. But you will have a UPS tracking number so you can track when they receive the item. So when you drop it off at the UPS store, make sure you get that receipt that you dropped the item off, just for your own safety. Just in case something happens, you can prove that you dropped the item off at the UPS store. So don't forget to keep that receipt for your records, and then track it through your UPS app. I'm very excited to see what happens with this. I'm gonna put it closer so you could see the damages on the zipper. So it's only worth spending $180 to replace the zipper if you're able to buy the pouch very cheap. If you buy the pouch for a lot of money, sometimes it's not worth it unless you really want the item. But in this case, I think that for me, this was a deal. You're entitled to your own opinion, but this just works for me. Also on the vintage Trousse, because it was before day code, it will have a tab that says Louis Vuitton, Paris, made in France, on the very top. Sometimes it has the day code hot stamp in the lining. When they started doing it, it would be like a 3-digit number. Like those were the earliest day code, but this one, I didn't see it. It doesn't have a day code. Another thing, if you Google about Louis Vuitton zippers, it says that prior to 1991, it was Eclair and there's two other brands. But this bag is prior to 1991. It does have one of the first LV zippers. So I'm guessing it wasn't until 1991 that entirely their whole collection started having the LV zippers. So can't wait for part 2, and hopefully it won't take that long because it's just a zipper, and I'll be able to do an unboxing. So let me know what you think. Like I mentioned, these pouches are no longer in production. They do have a similar one in the men collection. It retails for a lot of money, and it's in the Monogram clips, and that's the closest thing to a Trousse that I saw, but it's under the men collection. But this one, Monogram, no longer in production. They've been replaced by the Toiletry 26, the Toiletry 19, and the Toiletry 15. All right, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and any questions, feel free to ask. Thank you for taking your time and watching.